All right, all right. Welcome back. I want to really apologize for that technical issue. I had a technical issue right here, and I really apologize for that. But I guess many of us are back on. Okay, so you're welcome back. So I was talking to you about saving your marriage before it ever starts. So how many of us are still with me? Can I see a wave? Can I see a wave of hand if you're still with me? And you're seeing the screen. Can you see the slide? All right. So save your marriage before it start. I've talked about relationship being hard work. I've talked about divorce. I've talked about divorce not the way out. I've talked about putting God first in your relationship. Put God first in your life, not just in your relationship, in your entire life. Put God first. All right. And as I said that putting God first will give you, sorry, excuse me. Putting God first will give you a very, very strong foundation. Putting God first is going to give you a very, very strong foundation. How do you put God first? Strengthen your own personal relationship with God. Love God first before your partner. Before you ever talk to your partner in the morning, make sure that you talk to God first. It's very, very important. Fear the Lord. Fear the Lord like Joseph. Fear God. Let the fear of God be the most important thing in your life, because that is what the fear of God is, what is going to safeguard you from running into issues, from yielding to temptations. There's a lot of temptations out there, so it's the fear of God that is going to help you. And then don't forget, pray together and pray for each other. Very, very important. Pray together and pray for each other. Study the word of God together. Prioritize prayer and the word. It's very, very important. You're building a very, very strong foundation for yourself. You see, that when you get married, there is a lot of wind that will blow towards your marriage. There is a lot of storm that will hit the boat, the ship of your relationship, the ship of your marriage. But you see, one thing that is going to make you to be strong, that is going to make you to stay strong together, is the fear of the Lord, is the prayer together and praying for each other, and the study of the word of God together. All right. And then before you get married before you get into that relationship, make sure that you trust God to change your backside. All right. And help each other to grow in your marriage. Be reminded that your partner is fearfully and wonderfully made by God. So make up your mind to treat the princess of God. You see, if you're getting married if you're a lady and you're getting married to a man, that guy is a prince of God, is a child of God. If you're a woman, you're getting married to a man, that guy, if you're, what am I saying? If you're a woman, you're getting married to a man, know that the guy is the prince of God. And if you are a man, you are getting married to that woman, know that she is a princess of God. And you don't treat princesses anyhow. You don't treat royalties anyhow. So trust God to change your bad attitude. And then I want to emphasize the issue about applying 1 Corinthians chapter 13 in your marriage. If you're going to save your marriage, you need to know that love should come first. Love is very, 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 very important. Love is very important. And you must understand that the amount of love you deposit in your relationship is what is going to make that relationship to work very, 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 very well. Love is patient. Love is not jealous. Love does not demand of its own. Love is not irritable. Love does not keep records of wrongs. It means that you forgive. You must have that attitude of forgiveness. You must have that attitude of forgiveness. So, and then, of course, I said I should have talked about serving God together. serve God together. Serve God. I told you before we went on that break the other time that I find it difficult to relate with Christians who want to marry from the other side. How will you be able to serve God together? How will your children be able to, to serve God with you? You see, you should serve God together in the same kingdom. That is going to help your marriage. That is going to help your relationship. And make it a relationship goal to help each other. You see, and then the last but not the least in putting God first is that treat each other with grace. Treat each other with grace, just like how Jesus treats you. The way Jesus treats you. Say, Jesus so much loves us. Jesus so much tolerates us. Jesus so much understands us. So treat your partner with that kind of grace, with that kind of attitude of love, with that kind of attitude of patience, of tolerance. And when you do that, you will see that your marriage will be saved. And I also said, put communication to work. Communication is very, very important. Communication is very, very important in your relationship. You've got to understand that you've got to communicate. You need to communicate. The importance of communication cannot be overemphasized in marriage. The importance of communication cannot be Life is all about communication. Life is all about communication. Life is all about talking. So you've got to understand that if you want to be in a relationship, if you want to make your marriage to work, if you want to save your marriage, communication is very, very key. And for you to communicate, you need to know what your spouse wants. You need to know, you need to understand your spouse. You see, understanding your spouse is very, very important. And that is why, that is what is going to help your communication. And then before we went, I said that the art of listening is a very, very important skill in marriage and relationship. As much as you are communicating, you need to also learn to listen. As much as you want to talk, you need to also learn to listen. You see, the reason why a lot of marriages fall into problem is because we are not listening to each other. I can tell you that many married partners, many married people don't listen. And it's not just about words that are spoken. Listen to feelings. Listen to moods. Your partner might come home one day, feeling discouraged and rejected and what have you. If you don't understand how to listen, you will not understand the body language of your partner. You see, all of us have a body language. We have a way that we communicate our feelings and our moods and our nuances. So you've got to understand that the art of listening, you've got to understand, it's not just about you hearing words. You see, it's not just about words. It's not just only about words. It also has to do with listening and hearing the unspoken word. There are unspoken words. Okay? There will be time that your partner will not have money. You've got to understand, when your partner does not have money, how does he or she speaks? I know somebody that when she doesn't have money, she's very, very moody. All right? She's very, very moody when she doesn't have money. And that is communication. And as a partner to that kind of person, you just got to understand. All right? Also, ladies, when they're doing their monthly period, there is a way they behave. So you've got to understand that. You've got to understand some of these things, because everything that is going on in their life, okay, it's during that menstruation period, their body change, their body system changes, their mind changes, they're thinking about a whole lot of things. They're thinking about, maybe if they go out, they'll be messed up, maybe they are inside the bus or inside the car or in the office, or in the bus, or in the classroom, or maybe they're going to be messed up, and all that. So their entire body language is messed up. And as a guy, if you don't understand that, you will think that the lady is just a bad person. No, she's not a bad person. She's just expressing her mood because of the menstrual cycle that she is going through. So you've got to understand that. You've got to understand the unspoken words. When people are discouraged, you've got to understand how they react, how they respond, how they behave when they don't have money, how they behave when they are rejected or they are discouraged, when they are not given promotion at work. You've got to understand how they behave, okay? It's very, 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 very important. And then you've got to understand that whatever you are not saying, your partner cannot hear it. Your partner cannot, your partner can't hear what you are not saying. Okay, so we know that yes, you have a mood, you have issues, you are discouraged, you are whatever it is, but you've got to understand that I have to communicate whatever I am feeling. That is a way to save your marriage before it ever starts. You've got to learn these skills. These are skills I'm teaching you today. You've got to learn it. You've got to learn that if you don't say what you are feeling, there is no way your partner will know. So your spouse can't hear what you are saying. I'm sure that somebody is paying attention to that. Somebody is paying attention to that, okay? I hope that somebody is paying attention to that, all right? So why men respond differently to why men respond differently than women during a fight? I think I said that. I mentioned why men respond differently in fight, because the reason is that the emotions are different. The way we are wired, the way a man is wired is different from the way a woman is wired. The way a man responds to situations, to argument, is different from the way a woman would do that. Women are more emotional, and men are rational. Men are thinkers. Women are feelers. So we've got to understand that. We've got to understand that men are workers. Women are involvers. They want you to be involved. Meanwhile, a man just wants to be doing his own thing. Women are not like that. Women, they want you to be involved in what they are doing. Okay? So it's very, very important. We must understand the reason why men are different. Men respond differently from women during a fight. Okay, so and then I think the point I was before we went on that short break was, what does letting yourself go really mean? What does it mean? What does letting yourself mean? Excuse me a minute. I think I'm having. All right. So, what does letting yourself go really mean to your relationship? So, I said that you need to let yourself go in your relationship. Why? Because people change. People change. People change their attitude. People change their behaviors. People change their mindset. Change their feelings. Change. That lady that says she loves you forever can change. Things change when you are in a relationship. So you need to know that. To save your marriage, you have to have that mindset. You need to have that mindset that people change. The reason why you need to have that mindset that people change is because you don't want to be surprised. You don't want to be surprised. Don't be surprised when your partner changes. Don't be surprised when that guy changes from that romantic self to another person. So you need to understand that. It's very, very important. I'm going to end the webinar here, and I want to say I really appreciate you for staying in the class today, and I hope that next time you are going to be part of this webinar. All right, but I'm going to give time for questions. I'm going to give time for you to participate and ask me questions. So I'm going to unmute every one of you now. But if you want to ask question, please, if you want to ask question, I want you to, let me see a wave. There is a button on your screen that you will click. There is a button on your screen that you will click, and then I'm going to unmute you so that I can hear you. Even if it is a contribution, you can make a contribution. You can make a contribution. Does anybody want to make a contribution? Any contribution? Does anybody want to make a contribution? If you want to make a contribution, let me see. Any contribution? Anybody wants to make a contribution? Who is that? Hi, phone. Okay, let me unmute you. All right, I'm hearing you.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
So what's your name?
I don't want to say my name.
All right, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. So let's have your contribution.
My question is, it's actually a question that I have. Is infidelity or cheating in a relationship or a marriage, is it enough for you to end a marriage?
So you mean infidelity in a marriage, is it enough to end the marriage?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So is that the only question?
Yes.
Okay. So you see, there is a lot of reasons why people end their marriages as a result of infidelity. Okay. I want you to see, all right, I want you to see the process of infidelity. Infidelity is a process. You see, it is not the act. It is not the act that is the issue. All right? It is not the act. It is the trust that is broken. When you love somebody, you trust the person. And when the person breaks the trust, it breaks you. It breaks your heart. Your heart is broken. You feel disappointed. All right? So that is why infidelity makes people to end their relationship or their marriage. It is not what the guy or the lady does. It is not. It is the feeling that the trust is broken. It is the feeling of disappointment. So I would say normally or naturally, infidelity is not enough. But the truth of the matter is, what happens after infidelity? What happens after infidelity? What happens to the partner? What happens to you when you find your spouse, when you find your partner cheating on you? Those words that your partner has spoken to you, those things that you've heard from your partner that your partner has said to you, those are the things that gives people disappointment. Those are the things that makes people to want to call it quits. But you see, there should be room for forgiveness. So I would say that infidelity is not enough, but the issue is, after the infidelity, what happens? How do you resolve? Will the person change? Is the person going to change? Is the person adjusting? Is the person remorseful? Does the person realizes their mistakes? Okay, so that is very, very, very important. So it is not the infidelity that ends the relationship. It is the feeling of disappointment. It is the feeling that I can no longer trust this person with my life. That is actually what ends the relationship. I don't know if I'm able to answer your question. Right. Any other question or any other contribution? Any other question? Just give me a wave if you have a question or a contribution or you want to say something. Just give me a wave. I'm seeing some people that should say something there, but they're not saying anything. Sister Alice, do you want to say something? Okay, so I've unmuted you. Please say something. I wanted to say something. I'm seeing some other people.
Okay, well, Pastor T, I want to say well done to you once again. You've done justice to most of the issues that are affecting relationships and marriages. You've addressed the majority of them, and more grace to you, sir. That's all I can say.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Any other contribution? Any other contribution? I can see Sister Gloria. Sister Gloria, say something.
She's a white now.
Say something. You are all of the whole world is listening to you.
I know.
So say something.
But we have a video right now. Oh. Okay, let me say this. Can you hear me?
Everybody is listening.
Hello? I want to thank you, first of all, for this session. I say more anointing. Then secondly, I want to say when there's unbelievers and a believer got married, perchance they already got married before one of them became a believer. What would happen to that wedding or to that marriage eventually? And maybe the husband, who is an unbeliever, begins to cheat on the wife. Should the wife stay with him or should she leave? Did you get it?
Yeah, please, but come. Yeah, I got it, but say it again, please.
Okay. They got married while they were both unbelievers. The wife got converted. And then the husband has been cheating on her with other women. Sometimes he beats her. what is the wife supposed to do? Should she stay in the marriage or should she leave?
She has two options. Stay on the line. I'm going to answer the question. She has two options for that marriage. She has two options for that marriage. Option number one is to pray for the salvation of the man, and not just pray for the salvation. She should use her attitude to exemplify the character, to exemplify her character, Christ-like character, to exemplify that Christ-like character. She should use her example. All right, it's very, very important. Then the second option that she has, if she is not comfortable, with the lifestyle the man is living, the Bible gives her an option to leave the unbeliever. The Bible gives her that option to leave the unbelieving man or unbelieving woman. All right. So, but the first one is usually very desirable. I've seen a lot of people like that who got married as unbelievers, and then one of them became a believer. Eventually, the other one became a believer as well. So the first one is more desirable. The first one is more sweet than the second option. You always have to pray for your partner, especially when both of you got married before, before you were unbelievers, before you got married together. Okay, so the exemplary lifestyle can really, really help. And then of course prayer. There is nothing God cannot do. You have to pray for the man. You have to ask God to save the man. You've got to trust God for the man or the woman. But in the case that you are not able, if it is an issue that eventually you are not able to cope, to live with that kind of man, God gives you the permission. God gives you that permission to leave. So, Sister Gloria, I hope I'm able to. Did I answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
If she leaves, she can't remarry, right?
If she leaves, she can remarry. She can remarry if she leaves.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so any other contribution, any other question? Any question, any contribution? Before we call it a day for this webinar today. All right. Any other contribution? Okay. Well, I want to say thank you to every one of you that logged in today, and I hope that this webinar really addressed your issue, and I hope that you learned one or two things in this webinar. I'm still going to be running. Yes, and Auntie Alice, okay, you want to say something?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I want to say something concerning the question the sister asked.
Okay.
Yes, and I want us to look at the book of 1 Peter chapter 3. 1 Peter chapter 3 verses 1 and 2. Can you all hear me?
Everybody is listening.
All right. So it says, likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word. Please take note of what the scripture is saying there, that if any of your husbands obey not the word, that means if they are not born again, they also may, without the word, be won by the conversation of the wives. Verse 2 says, why they behold your chests conversation coupled with fear. 3, whose Adoni let it not be that of outward Adoni, of playing of the air, and blah, blah, blah. But my emphasis is in that verse 1 that says that wives should be in subjection to their own husband. The scripture is simply saying that even if your husband is an unbeliever, he cheats, he does all that, if your words are grace, if your attitude are positive towards him, the man can change. It is not the matter of being violent to him. You know, that's a mistake a lot of women are making. You know, they go violent with the man, they say a lot of things, they tend to pull them down. You know, most men, they have the tendency to cheat. It takes the grace of God for a man to stand and not cheat on their women. Let's just get that. But if that not happen in your relationship, then, hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you now happen to marry a man that, there are some men that does not even cheat, that their character is worse than what it is. Or maybe you guys were not born again the time you got married, and after that you met the Lord. It is not an excuse for you to leave your family. Just keep praying for your man. Be positive. Follow what 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 1 says, that you should be in subjection to your own husband, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation. Please mark the word conversation of the wise. So it's very important we stay positive with our conversation. So that's what I have to say. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. So let's take positive. That's what I said. You know, that's what I said. With the character of the man, of the woman, or the man, the either of them can get saved. You know, you don't have, you be like Christ, behave like Christ, be Christ-like in the marriage, because you can, through your example, through your lifestyle, win them over to Christ. Thank you very much, Sister Alice. God bless you for that. God bless you for that addition and for that spice that you put. Any other question? Any other contribution before we call it a day? Before we call it a day, I can see Sister Desgret there. Sister Desgret, do you want to say something? Sister Desgret, do you want to say something? Hello, Sister Desgret. Do you want to say something? Sister Desgret, do you want to say something? Okay, I think she's all right. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. I look forward to more of saving your marriage before it starts masterclass. And I believe the next one is going to be more exciting, more interesting. We're going to have more activity. Yes, Sister Desgret, you're welcome. Are you going to say something?
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't
paying attention to
around all through the session.
Okay.
I just want to ask whether it would be possible for us to have the slides you were putting up.
Yes.
You know, they carry very important and vital information that we may need.
Right. I'm going to send it.
Yeah.
I'm going to send it.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
You are very much welcome. Is that all?
Yes, that's all. That's all.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So let's call it a day. God bless you. Thank you very much. Who else am I seeing? Okay, I think okay, I'm seeing Mr. Randolph. Mr. Randolph, I have 1 minute, 1.5 minutes. Do you want to say something? Do you want to say something?
Yeah. Yeah, hello. Yeah. I hope everyone is getting me.
Sure, everybody is listening.
Yeah, okay. First of all, let me just say thank you. Kudos to you for putting up this masterclass, and I pray that God continues to grace you, give you wisdom to carry on this vision. I just want to say that, like, what I see as the most important thing that everyone needs to do to save their marriage before it even starts is establishing, sustaining, and building on your relationship with God. Because if you look at what exactly you do in building your relationship with God, maintaining a relationship with God, it all has to do with communication. Because you
So
have
the time is running fast. The time is running fast.
Okay.
I have less than 30 seconds.
Okay. So it has everything to do with communication. If you notice, talking to God, listening to God, and actually serving God. So
Right.
if we